Right. Hey everyone, it's Mary from booklaunchmentor.com, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about CreateSpace and actually a lot about how to upload your book to CreateSpace so you can hold it in your hand. In the olden days, when I started off, there were two ways of getting published. There was the traditional way, which is the way I went, which was finding an agent. The agent shops your book. A publisher hopefully picks it up, and you hand in the manuscript, and a year later, you have the book in your hands. With CreateSpace, and then the other way was you paid someone to print the book for you. And that at that time was called vanity publishing, also called self-publishing. And a lot of problems with that was that people just didn't have good fonts or graphics, and most self-published books look really bad. But that is not the case anymore, and you have a third option. So instead of paying $10,000 for a print run and having a garage full of books, you can do print on demand. And one really convenient way to do that is Amazon's CreateSpace. And so here is what it looks like when you come to the site createspace.com, and you will need to create an account for it and a password. And so I'm just going to bring you to the member dashboard, and you can see I have a bunch of different things here that I've already uploaded, and I'm going to walk you through this process so that I can demystify it for you. It's actually a very simple process. And the nice thing about print on demand is when someone buys it on Amazon, let's say they pay $10 for it, but the print on demand price in terms of how much it costs Amazon to print it, let's say it's $6, then you earn $4 of that. But you don't have to have any outlay to make that happen. It happens at the point of sale. So for instance, when I did Not Marked, I did a print run and I paid for a print run. And I did that because the print run was relatively inexpensive. The more copies you get, the less it is. So it was about $1 a copy. So I did that so that I could give it away to people, which I am doing. So if you're interested in receiving a case of Not Marked to give to a ministry, it's a book about how to heal from sexual abuse, just email me at mary@marydemuth.com and I'll set you up. That's the whole point of that one. But all these other books that I have here on CreateSpace, they are ones that I didn't want to have any outlay. And the nice thing about this whole process is it should cost you about $6 or $7 to receive a proof in your hand in the mail. And that's really the only cost that you'll incur. Now, there will be extra cost if you want to. Like if you want to hire a book designer, a cover designer, if you want to hire someone to format the interior, which I highly advise you do, those will cost money. But when you get to this place in CreateSpace, it should not, none of this process here will cost you money. So they have this 5-step process: create, set up, review, distribute, and sales and marketing. You'll want to kind of look over here and create. I have not used any of these services. I didn't use editorial services because I have my own editors. I didn't do illustration services because I do that myself. All of this is stuff that I didn't think was necessary, but you may want to look at it just to be sure. So then you go to the setup. And the nice thing about this is it shows you all the things that you need to do. And it gives you a running review throughout the process. And so this is what the page will look like when it comes to you. And all of this obviously will be blank. And so the book, and this is locked because I've already uploaded this book, but this will give you an idea of how to do it. So you create your title here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like on Amazon. Now, this thing that I created, this book is kind of a funny little book. But this is what it will look like. So once you upload it to CreateSpace, it's going to look just like all the words that you put over here in CreateSpace will end up here. Now, the funny thing about this is I've just only created this for the book mentoring intensive. It's a workbook, and it actually was cheaper for me to upload this to CreateSpace than it was for me to go to Kinko's and have it copied. And so it was actually better for me just to offer it. I don't know who would buy this on Amazon, honestly, but it was just one of those things, which is great. So if you have something that you'd like to create, like a workbook or something, and it's just for like 12 people, it doesn't matter because it doesn't cost you anything extra. And you can even ask them to order it, and then you have no cost incurred and you earn a little bit of money on each one of those. And also just keep in mind, a traditionally published author will make about $70 78 cents a copy per book, per $14.99 book. Whereas on CreateSpace, you could make anywhere from $4 to $8 on each book. So it's a huge difference. The other difference is in a traditionally published book, you'll have better distribution, but that is changing and things are flattening out. So anyway, I just want to show you what this looked like, the final product. So here's where the title is, the subtitle. I'm the primary author, so that's my name. If there were more people, if more people were writing this book, you had 5 people, then you would have co-writers here. If there was a series, you would add the series and which number it is, like the mentoring series volume number 1, and again, edition number. And most of you listening to this are listening to it in English, so therefore you would choose English. And the publication date is whatever date you're sitting in front of your computer in front of CreateSpace, so you just add that. Now, ISBN, you can either buy an ISBN via Bowker Services. It can be kind of expensive, or you can ask for them to assign you one for free, and I would highly recommend you just let them assign you one for free, because free is awesome. The interior, I tend to like black and white. Full color is going to make things cost a whole lot of money, so you don't really want to do that. You want to just stay with black and white, and I like a white paper color, but the cream is really nice too. I've had one of my books in cream. I chose a trim size, and when I chose the trim size for this book, I had a friend who had a book that was the same size, and so I just asked her what one she chose. And this is one of the standard 7.5 by 9.25 is a standard size. And so if you go here, you can choose different sizes, and it's usually best to choose one of their standard sizes. So then you can upload the interior, and it'll just say, please upload your interior. It's a PDF. Notice this, Mentoring Notes PDF. It's 72 pages long. Now this is formatted exactly for this dimension here, 7.5 by 9.25. So make sure that this number here matches what your PDF is in terms of the dimensions. And so you would just upload that, and then you would upload your cover, and your cover would be the cover flat. It would look like, let's see if I can pull up a cover flat of that. I thought I put that up on my thing, but let's go here. You're going to see all my dirty laundry here. Yes, my word for the year is yes. Here's a cover flat right here. So a cover flat is a PDF, and it's going to look like the front, the spine, and the back. So that's what a cover flat is. And to get that, I designed this in PicMonkey, and you can go and find my tutorial in PicMonkey because I showed this a little bit. I designed it in PicMonkey. I added it to Microsoft Word on the exact dimensions that it was supposed to be, and then I saved it as a PDF and then uploaded it. Okay, so and again, one of the things that's frustrating a little bit is you can do a little calculator throughout this process. It'll say, hey, do you want to know what your spine size is? And so you say yes, and it will tell you like if it's 0.25 inches or 0.1 inch. And that way you can know exactly the dimensions of your flat. So obviously 7.5 by 9.25, you're going to have 7.5 times 2. So that's 15 inches plus whatever, let's say it was 0.25. So your width of it's going to be 15.25 by 9.25. So you just have to make sure that it fits. A lot of times I've struggled with this. A lot of times what will happen is my spine will be off a little bit, and so I have to go back and finagle and fix the original file and then save it back as a PDF and upload it again. But they're really good about showing you and telling you when you've made a mistake, and it's really all the things I've learned. I made like 58 mistakes, and I just learned how to do it. So for those of you who are freaked out about this whole thing, it really is an easy process, and you don't have to hit publish until you have you've seen your proof and make sure that your book looks exactly how you want it. You only have one chance to make that first impression. But the beautiful thing about CreateSpace is an author or a friend actually could read your book, and they could say, hey, there's a mistake on page 47, and you could go to page 47, fix the mistake, and re-upload it. And within a few minutes, your book is completely changed and better and doesn't have that error anymore. On the distribute, so we've gone through all of this here. We've gone through this part. Now we're on distribute, on cover finish. I always choose matte. It just has a really, really nice feel to it. It's kind of soft, and glossy looks a little more self-published to me. So I chose matte. And then this is the description that you would write for the book. Now, again, I did not spend any time on this because literally I didn't care. This is the notebook given to Book Launch Mentors Book Mentoring Intensive. And so you can see here, this is the notebook given to Book Launch. This is where that's going to be on Amazon. So it's nice to know like where everything is going to be. So you actually do not want to skimp on this step. You want to have some keywords in here, and I would suggest you do a little bit of research on how to create an amazing Amazon page and how to make an amazing Amazon entry, because it's going to have keywords and all of that. The BISAC category is where this would be filed in a bookstore or in a library, and it gives you this little button here to choose, and there's so many different ones. And if you're having a hard time figuring that out, then go to some similar books like your own and look at the bestseller rank. Obviously, I'm not selling a lot of these books, but it gives you kind of some ideas of where this would be categorized. Okay, and then you can add a biography of yourself here, which I would definitely do. I didn't do it for this book, but you can. It's in English. Country of publication is probably the United States. And then keywords, I didn't do this, but you can. Book launching, mentoring. I mean, I could just choose all. You can choose 5, but one of the things that's a little hack on this is if you have a whole bunch of keywords, which you kind of want, because these keywords are the words people are searching for when they're in Amazon. Anything between 2 commas is counted as a keyword. So you could actually, instead of saying book launching, mentoring as 2 separate things, you could say book launching, mentoring, self-publishing, comma, editing. So then that means that we have 2 words here, anything between the commas. So add 4, 5, 6 words in between those commas so you can get as many as possible. I'm hoping that you're not clicking it contains adult content, and you're probably not going to click large print. Then you run to the channels of where this is going to be distributed. I just selected all of these. Obviously, you're going to have it on Amazon.com. You'll probably want to put it in Amazon Europe and the CreateSpace e-store. The nice thing about the e-store is that people can order, I think, for a little less money, and you can also order from that as well. You can also select these other places to distribute, and that's free, which is super nice. You don't make as much on your royalty for these, but I don't think it matters. Just go ahead and add them there. So what will happen is once they calculate how many pages you have, they'll say what your minimum price for this title is. And I just didn't care because I wanted to make this as cheap as possible. But if I change this, let's say if I said I wanted it to be $10, then I can calculate here, and it will change. Like right now, it'll show me the different royalties that I will get on all these places, on Amazon.com, $385, on CreateSpace eStore. That's the nice thing about it, is you get a higher royalty and the expanded distributors. And if you also just want to say, okay, well, I need to know what $10 is for Europe, then just click this and it will automatically count it. Well, this is actually Great Britain and this is the euro. So you would do that, and it will calculate that for you, and then you would just complete the progress. I'm going to actually go back to 538 because I don't want this to be an expensive book. And then I will go ahead and save those. So those are correct. So save progress. So again, this did not take very much time. What's going to take time for you is to properly format your manuscript so that it actually looks like book pages with with page numbers and all of that kind of stuff. So that's definitely important. Those are things you're going to bring to it. You'll probably want to hire someone to do a book cover. One of the really nice places you can go is Fiverr.com. And what's nice about this is you could say createspace books, and it will bring up, I will design a Kindle and CreateSpace book cover. So there's people that will do it for like $5. So really, there's no excuse. Here's one that will design and do the interior format for CreateSpace for $5, depending on how many things, how many pages you have and all of that. But it's really great and a really nice thing. And I've used Fiverr several times and it's been great. And so then the only other thing that is left is you can publish this on a Kindle. I chose not to because this is a workbook, but the nice thing about this is you can also add it there. And then you can complete your setup and they'll just automatically format it for you. You can also pay to have a Kindle format. And I have done that as well, just because I want to have my reader have a good experience with the book. So that is it. And then basically what you do is you go back to the titles, and you can order a copy. Then once you've gone through all of this, you can order. It'll actually automatically generate this. You can order a proof. It's like $6 or $7 to pay for the postage, and it will come in about a week. I highly suggest that you order the proof because there's nothing like physically looking at your book and finding the errors. Now you can also preview it on a PDF, and they'll send that to your inbox and say, hey, it's all ready. You can preview it on a PDF. And that's good. And this is what I did with this one because I did not care. But if it was a book that was really going out there into the world, then I would definitely order a proof and look it over and then change anything and then re-upload. And then you just hit publish and it looks like this, and it's on Amazon, and you could order cases of it if you wanted to and bring it to your speaking engagements or whatever. And so that is it. I mean, it's just so simple. And what I love about that is that it's just changed everything for me. It's changed content creation for me. And that has been such a cool blessing for me. So I hope that's been helpful. And I hope you will, in the comment section, just show me if you've done this, because I would love to hear about you and your success with CreateSpace.